revamp job. First thing for today is that I need to bring all of the carpets and everything that I pulled out of the car. I have them in the truck back here, and I need to bring them to the car wash place to vacuum them out because I don't have a vacuum. All dirty, and there we go, all clean. I'm very surprised at how this stock carpet looks. This is in good shape. There's really no need to replace this carpet. It's gonna look really cool if I can get it colored, all one color, because it looks, obviously it's got some faded and stained areas. Let's go back.
She think I'm spoiled and I'm rich cause I can have anything. Got defensive and said nah, I was the same without it. But then I thought back to a better me.
All right, we're back now, and I have some turtle wax power out carpet cleaner, and there's my carpet down on the ground. I'm gonna just try a section right here. This is the back passenger area. Whoa. I don't know how much to use. That seems like quite a lot. Okay, I'm about halfway through. I've done all of this side and not this side. I don't know if it's obvious or not. It's not quite as effective as I was hoping it would be, but I think a lot of this is just stains. It's never really gonna be perfectly clean, which is why I'm gonna dye it. So let's try the second half. Okay, well, I think I've done the whole thing. I didn't put in too much time. A couple recommendations. Shop towels are not the right thing to use. Obviously, I didn't have anything else, so if I had some, a pack of like decent rags, it would have been a lot easier. It looks fairly clean now, and I was hoping that maybe it would actually come out so nice that I wouldn't have to dye it, like I was saying. I think I will. It's not bad. It actually doesn't look that bad, especially out here in the light. It looks pretty good. But you can see, this part I won't do anything with. The pedal sort of pad, I won't be spraying that, so it's gonna stay blue. But you can see lots of sort of discoloration here, obviously in the back, in the corners, back there. But I think it'll look pretty cool if I can get it dyed properly. Off these vinyl parts, the rubber parts here, and the tape is just not cooperating. I think it's just too hot. That's my guess anyway. So I might actually just throw something on top of this for a minute to let it sort of sit in the shade for a second, and hopefully, I had to do this thing. This thing was a pain in the dickens. So it's pretty, it looks pretty skookum, I think, pretty decent. So I'll cover this up maybe for a second, and I'm gonna have my roommate move his vehicle so I don't spray it. Okay, I've done what I would call a coat on here. It's pretty hard to tell. It still looks pretty blue to me. I don't want to go too overboard. One of my major downfalls with spray paint is I'm too impatient, and I try to do too heavy of a coat. And really what you want to do is spray paint, and I'm sure this is the same kind of thing, this dye stuff. What you really want to do is leave it with a light coat, because the coats basically create a bonding layer for the next coat. So if you put on a whole lot of paint in one coat, in the first coat especially, it won't stick very good and it'll be running everywhere. And then even subsequent coats won't help. It's not going to make it any better. So your first coat is one of the most important, and it's got to be really light. And especially on like plastic parts, things like that, especially if it's in any way like a slippery, shiny surface or anything, you need super, super light coats. You almost need to not even see the paint in the first coat, because you need some layers for the paint to bond to, and if you just go for it, it doesn't work out. So I'm going to try and be patient with this. I think it's going to dry pretty fast because it's in the sun, so maybe just give it another 10 minutes or so and then I'll go for more. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Still doing the dyeing of the carpet. It's getting to be sort of more one color. This is the second coat now. I've been trying to use this brush in between coats. You're supposed to, like, you know, give it a nice roughen up so that you don't have all the fibers sticking together. I'm really excited to see how it comes out. It might not be all that great, but it's not like it's going to really be worse looking than it was before, so. Changed shirts. I've finished the first, or the can that I had of dye, and the results are, I don't know. I'm kind of having trouble deciding. I probably need more than one can. I don't think I have quite as much coverage as I wanted. It's hard to tell because I'm not sure if it's gonna end up being a really solid color. It almost looks right now like I have dirty carpet. I think I might go and get another can and see if I can get some better coverage on here. is the roughest road in existence. This is just a normal road. My God, what is this? Okay. Wow. Yeah, if you need to test your suspension, drive on Park. I think that's what it's called. Park Avenue or something. Park Street in Long Beach, right near the traffic circle. Not good. As usual, I spent way more money than I should have, but I should be set for at least a couple hours. So I did one more coat. I went and got some more dye. I did one more coat and I brushed it down, and honestly I'm pretty happy with it at this point. It looks pretty good, and it'll probably change a little bit as it dries and all that, but I think the coverage is pretty solid. It's decent anyway, and I wouldn't say it looks like brand new carpet, but it looks good. So I think I'm happy enough with that, and I'm gonna move on to doing hopefully some dynamat slash raw mat, ram mat. I have ram mat, I guess that's what it's called. The cheaper kind of, it's not actually that much cheaper than dynamat, but it came as a little bit better deal with the extra of having the foam backed stuff, or the foam stuff with it. Okay, so I'm partway through doing the trunk here. I'm just kind of doing things the best that I can. I tried to clean out all of this foam stuff that's adhered to the inside of the trunk, and I just couldn't do a very good job. I tried scraping it, I tried using a Goo Gone, I tried using all kinds of stuff, and I scraped it as much as I could and then vacuumed it out, and I'm still getting more of it. You can see here, more of it just coming apart, and it seems like there's not much I can do about it. As long as it's down flat as much as possible against the sheet metal, it'll be fine. This is my method right now. I'm using this Purple Power degreaser. I spray in the area I want to put the mat on, and this is going to be hard one-handed, but go over the area. I usually do it twice. I do it once with a dirty rag and once with a cleaner one. Grab your sheet. So this is how big the sheets are. In this case anyway. I know they're different in like every type of this stuff. So you can see this gray side is the adhesive side. Okay, so there's that. You take the stuff and you want to try and get it into the ridges and valleys of the metal you're putting it on. And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to align with anything in particular. You just throw it on and try to work it into. There's rollers that make this easier, of course, but I don't have one. So there you go. There's a piece installed, and in my opinion, these gaps, not a big deal. Really, that's all you need on each panel, something to keep the panel from resonating. Some mat inside the car now, doing the roof right now. So I'm just gonna show a quick piece here. I'm gonna put 3 on the roof, 1 above the driver, 1 in the back, and then 1 above the passenger. And I'm just gonna show you, this is the cut from the one on the driver's side, and I'm just gonna make this side the same. So I'm gonna line them up best I can anyway. And I'm not gonna be able to cut this because I have to use 2 hands. I'm gonna put a mark on it. I don't know what the camera can see there, but I'm gonna cut this. Cutting close to my dick. Okay, we're good. They're kind of similar. So now these ones, pretty easy. And the other one I aligned really poorly, so I'll try and do this one a bit better. Maybe not. Go right there. Alright, that's where it's going. Oh man, it's even worse. It's all going to be under the headliner, so you won't see any of this anyway. There's the roof done. In the back seat, there's one I already did. There's an access inside the fender. Like, this is the rear fender of the car, right? There's access inside here, so this is the fender. The wheel would be right behind here. I put some on the inside, right? But I'd put one on the inside, but basically on the inside flat of this panel. And I'm gonna put one in there right now. Okay, there you go. Panel's in. No one's ever gonna see it. I've already put some stuff back together. I did a little patch on the deck here. Decided that I'm done for the most part for sound deadening. I have some more things I want to do I want to do the doors, I think, and I want to put. You can see this now. What used to be shiny, I have this foam in here. I'm trying to use a bunch of this foam because I have a pile of it. Maybe you can see by the table. Got a massive amount of it with this sound deadener, and so I've been trying to use it. I put it all on the back side of these pieces, the plastic. I should have shown some of that, but I was just excited to get something back in the car. I feel like I really would like to get stuff put back together as soon as I can. So you can see the carpet is right there. Cool. There it is. It's not, I don't think it's quite all the way in, and obviously it's going to kind of work its way around a little bit. Unfortunately, it's never going to fit quite as tight as it did when it was new because of all of these cuts that I had to make in it. But because it's so well molded to the car, right? It's been in this car for 20 years. Everything fits around all of the curves and all that properly, and it'll all kind of settle in right where it's supposed to be. Frankly, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. This area right here is still not so nice, and I guess that's kind of just a heavy wear place because that's where the driver's feet ends up. Getting that in the car makes me feel a lot better. I might actually call it for the day. I'm gonna try something here that's I've done something like this once before, and it's in the car right now. My gauge cluster. I made the the piece out of aluminum, cut the holes and all that, and then I wrapped it with this material, or very similar material. Spray adhesive, professional performance. The whole concept of wrapping something in fabric is, it seems really simple, but it's a lot more complicated than it actually is, or than it actually seems. In this case, especially, you have dips, valleys, crests in the thing that you're wrapping, and you have to account for that. And it's hard to do. It's gonna probably have some creases in it somewhere. Okay, nothing. Oh boy, this is hard. I gotta say, at this point, I really wish I hadn't done this. This really sucks, and it's not going nearly as well as I wanted it to go. I'm honestly disappointed. I really am. I thought it was gonna go a lot smoother. I thought it was gonna be a lot easier. I thought it was gonna look a lot better in the end, and it looks really bad. There's just bubbles, seams, ripples, whatever you want to call them, all over the place in here, and it's just not fixable. It's nothing. There's nothing you can do about it. It's gonna be there. Even towards the back here, where I thought it was gonna be really easy, you can see these are all in there permanently. That's never coming out. It's just not very good. It's too late to go backwards now, so I guess I'm gonna live with it. And maybe someday in the future I'll find a way to. I'll have to get a new headliner. I have to put on the last few feet, or I guess about a foot of adhesive.
I got broads in Atlanta, just a Venus shit, credit cards in the scammers, wake up and what with your ladder shit, they be acting rats, I know we clever shit, I be putting myself in the final shit, I got plenty of this stuff with Bugatti, but look how I try this shit.
I trimmed off the excess now. It's all glued down. It's very, very far from how I wanted it to be, but now I just want to get it in the car because I'm just I'm done with it. I wish it was better, but it's not, so I can't really complain about it now. It's too late. It is what it is. I can't really fix it. Still have to cut a few more holes out of it so that I can put the hardware and everything in, but yeah, overall, I'm pretty disappointed with this one. I had to adhere these pads back onto the headliner. They came off, and honestly, I wasn't sure exactly where they went. This seems kind of roughly correct to me. And I added these. This is my own stuff. I've been just adding it where I can. I think this is the B-pillar trim. I'm adding some strips of the stuff on here. can see. Oh, there it is. So I need to put the cover on the dome light, but I've got the rest in here, so maybe you can sort of see. It looks all right. Like I said before, I'm not happy with it, but it's not that bad. It's in here now, and with it in, I'm okay with it. There you go. This is the plastic trim installed. It looks a lot better. Looks a lot more like a normal car again. Okay, it's extremely hot in here. This is the back seat of the S14, and no front seats, so there's lots of room. I don't have the back in yet, but I'm not gonna do that because I gotta do the speakers, and having it in here is just, it's in the way. I don't think I'm gonna do any more right now. I might not get any more done today, depending on how the afternoon goes, because I'm gonna go and play some football. And usually that means play football, go to the bar, and then go to another bar and spend the night hanging with my friends, so.